So I drive a BMW X3, and in that car at the moment, I've got a standalone dash cam, which is kind of hardwired into a spare fuse section there. And it's okay, but the environment inside cars is pretty severe. So if you imagine during summer, it gets super hot, and in the winter, it gets really cold. And if you've got a standalone one, normally there's a battery in there which lets it record kind of after you've switched off the ignition. And the batteries in the one that I've got, or the battery in the one that I've got, has failed now because it's just too hot and too cold. So I've been looking for an integrated one, a replacement one, and the one that I've picked up is this Fitcamx, which is they do different models, different types of housing for this. And what it does is it goes over the rear mirror housing, and it integrates through into the light that's within that. So there's different styles and different models, and this is the one for the BMW i3. So let's take a look at it, and then what I'll do is I'll fit it this afternoon and we'll go and take a look at that. So SD card, that's always nice. Little SD card on the top there, 64 gigabytes. I think they go up to 256, something like that. Okay, so then let's open this up. So this is the housing that goes on it. So pre-wired with the plugs which will go into the light fitting, the light fixtures within the car. And there's the camera. So if you've got a BMW i3, I think actually it's a shared housing across lots of different BMWs. So that's one side of it, and then the other side must be in there. And you've got some buttons on the side for recording, for switch on and switch off. I've not read the instructions yet, but my guess is that it just auto comes on when you switch the ignition on. Okay, so that's one side of the mounting. That's the other side. So you can see how that kind of snaps together and goes around the existing mounting that's in there already. So it looks something like that. Load of cables, don't know what they're for. Maybe that's a rear dash cam, who knows? Yeah, it looks like a rear one, doesn't it? It's got a little thing in there. Don't know whether I'll use a rear dash cam. Box of accessories. Oh, that's useful. So that's the thing that you use to get the clips out of the car. Snaps out. That's actually really useful. And there's a little adapter there. And then what's in here? That maybe looks like a rear mount or something. Suction cup with a nice stiff arm, maybe for the rear. And the ball socket mounting to go into that. I actually wonder whether that's for your phone. Don't know. Yep, that's for your phone. And an instruction manual. So that's all the stuff that comes in the box for this Fitcamx dash. I've not got a model number on it. Fitcamx dash cam. Let's go and stick it in the car. more in-depth look at this housing and camera setup. So you can see the way that it's kind of set up, and the mirror one is there. But let me show you this. So that's going to take an electrical feed in from the wiring loom, power that. Then I think that must go into the light and the power for the mirror. And then the original mirror one goes back into the wiring loom. Exactly how that works, I don't know. There is a video online. That's the cable for the rear camera, which I might or might not use, but I'll think about that later. So that's what it looks like. So it's just a little modular camera, lens angled at the front, so you can't change the lens on that. And then that's just the little SD card slot there. And yeah, you can see how that works. I can imagine how that works. But we'll go and take a look. I've got to take the other one out. So this is a 10-minute job that took me about 20 minutes. So the little tool comes in the kit, and you're using that to prise apart the existing housing that's within your i3. You can be pretty robust with this. So this hooks into a metal drop link that comes from the windscreen and holds the mirror at the bottom, and it's pretty solid metal. And then at the front, it hooks into what I think is the rain sensor. So I started at the back and eventually kind of pulled it apart. And then on the other side, it kind of unclips again. So it's fixed to the mirror drop mount. And then at the front, it clips into what you'll see there. It must be the rain sensor. You can be pretty robust with this. It'll just pull off in the end. Nothing's going to snap. And then behind it, there you go. And then the mirror is powered, or the mirror sends power to, again, what we're calling this kind of rain sensor thing here. And you unplug that. I used a pair of needle nose pliers just to unplug it. And then that male socket feeds into the female socket that comes with your Fitcamx. And the male socket from your Fitcamx fits back into whatever that is at the front. And it snaps in. And then you can see that there's kind of a plug that goes into that mount. Okay, so don't do this. You don't want to do this. Don't coil up the cables and put them into the recess and think that is going to all fit back again. That didn't work, and that caused me some delays because I was trying to push the camera housing flush against the drop link mount, and it won't do it because the cables were there. And what's in those? One of those cables is for the rear camera, and I didn't fit the rear camera this time, but I probably will do later this week. And you can see kind of at the back there at the top of the housing, that's where the there's a little sticker on it that says for the rear camera. So anyway, I tried to fit it up and it wouldn't marry up, so I took it back off again, rerouted the cables. This is where I take it off again, and rerouted the cables, and then it all fitted together quite snugly, and you get a really tight fit. It's good. Now these housings, I think they're a standard part for BMW, because I went to look at the part number and there was only one part number. And I know that Fitcamx, they supply these for various different models, makes and models. So it's not just an i3 thing. I think you can get them for lots of other BMWs. And probably lots of other makes and models. Actually, I'll put a link to their website in underneath so that you can go and take a look. But it needs power. If you think about it, it needs power. So it needs one of those powered mirrors to work. And then what you do is you download an app, and the app talks to the camera device. And from there, you can download videos that you've recorded. There you go. It all snaps in the end. Looks good in the end. and it picks up sound as well. So this is the app. I just sped through it. You can download whatever. It loops on 3 minutes, or you can get it to loop faster or shorter. There's the bread knife, and there's a page of settings there too. I need to go away and play with that a little bit more. But this is pretty good. It kind of works straight away. So as soon as I switch the car on, it works straight away. So go and have a look at that and play with that. But yeah, nice little piece of kit. So that was fitting the Fitcamx dash cam. A bit fiddly, you know. What you've got to do is just make sure that the cables, the interior cables in the housing, are routed so that it doesn't interfere with the housing and the mirror metal frame. It's like an alloy frame, and once you've kind of cleared those, then it snaps together quite nicely, and you get like a production fit basically. The housing is made from polycarbonate and ABS, so it's pretty robust. It's as robust as the German one that's just come out of it, and the app lets you you can change the settings, and you get a good view. So I just need to clean the lens up because I smudged it with my finger when I was putting it on there, and then I'll have a go at putting the rear one in, but we'll do that separately. I just wanted to show you what this was like. Anyway, that was a 20-minute job, and if you're better at it than I am, then you could have done it in 10. See you soon, everyone. Bye.